हेलो दोस्तों, दिस इज भारत कुमार एंड यू आर वाचिंग माय चैनल निर्मल इन्फो अपडेट्स।
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left.
Safar Mahmood Abbasi, left, is the chief of the Pakistan Navy, which consists of about 70,000 personnel, including officers, chief petty officers/sailors, and civilian staff. Courtesy of Pakistan Navy, Islamabad, with more than 90% of its trade seaborne, Pakistan's geostrategic location at the head of the Arabian Sea adjoining the Arabian Gulf trade routes, coupled with its ambitions to become a trade conduit to China and Central Asia via the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, demanded an increasingly significant role in ensuring regional maritime security. The Pakistan Navy is a long-time contributor to international security operations as a participant in the American-led Combined Maritime Forces, particularly the group's Combined Task Force 150 and Anti-Piracy Combined Task Force 151. Pakistan has also created its own regional maritime security patrol. The service, led by Safar Mahmood Abbasi since October 2017, is expanding its patrol capabilities to safeguard the country's exclusive economic zone and interests at sea. It's also undergoing significant recapitalization to maintain deterrent credibility in the face of arch-rival India's naval modernization. New acquisitions and a domestic construction program will see an almost total transformation of Pakistan's Navy within the decade, for which it is generally reliant on China and increasingly on Turkey for assistance. The naval officer answered a few of Defense News questions about the Navy's role in future plans, but declined to comment on efforts to increase the involvement of domestic businesses in defense programs. Whether the state-owned shipyard Karachi Shipyard and Engineering Works Limited will have enough work to stay open, with Pakistan, and whether the standoff between Indian and Chinese missiles on the Nordic frontier, Indian Air Force, IAF, has begun building an emergency airstrip parallel to a stretch of Srinagar-Jammu highway in southern Anantnag district. On completion, it will serve as an alternate runway facility for fighter jets in case of any emergency. Amid growing tensions along the borders with Pakistan and the standoff between Indian and Chinese troops on the Ladakh frontier, Indian Air Force, IAF, has begun building an emergency airstrip parallel to a stretch of Srinagar-Jammu highway in southern Anantnag district. The sources said that it would be a 3-kilometer-long runway adjacent to the national highway, NH44, in Anantnag's Bijbehar area, which is being laid on war footing. On completion, it will serve as an alternate runway facility for fighter jets in case of any emergency, the sources said. The sources said that since virtual lockdown continues to be in force in the valley since March 19 to stem the spread of COVID-19, the concerned authorities have, following a request from the IAF, issued special passes to construction workers and trucks for carrying the required material to the site of the proposed airstrip. No IAF official was available for comment. The Indian Air Force, IAF, is indigenizing Russian night vision goggles that are used by pilots flying the Mi-17 medium-lift helicopter. IAF's No. 3 base repair depot here, that is responsible for the maintenance and overhaul of Russian-origin helicopters, has been tasked to execute the project. The design and development of the NL-93 night vision goggle, NVG, variant will be done in collaboration with the Indian industry, for which the public and the private sector is being approached, an officer said. NVG is categorized as a critical equipment and it has to be compatible with the Mi-17's cockpit and operating parameters, he added. NVG is a helmet-mounted electro-optical device based on image intensifier technology that allows images to be produced in levels of light approaching total darkness. NVGs can intensify ambient light to over 1,000 times and can function effectively in minimal moonlight conditions or even starlight. By increasing the aircrew's situational awareness due to improved visibility in the dark, NVGs enhance maneuverability and navigation, thereby facilitating better air-to-ground tactics and thereby enhancing mission effectiveness. The essential features of NVG vision include monochromatic image in a field of view reduced to a cone of 40 deg with diminished visual acuity as compared to daytime vision. Consequently, pilots have to continually turn their heads to see to the sights. The use of NVGs, however, also has medical and physiological implications. It adds to the weight of the helmet, causing increased stress on the neck and spine. Given the device's limited field of view of about 40 degrees, the pilots have to constantly rotate their heads for wider arc of vision. Aircrew are also required to undergo brief training capsules on the use of NVGS. The IAF began using NVGS in helicopters in 2002 for operation flying such as special heliborne operations, troop deployment, search and rescue and communication. It carried out its first NVG-assisted rescue in 2007, when it evacuated 2 injured soldiers, one of them with a serious head injury, in the northeast. According to IAF sources, once the indigenous NVG for the Mi-17 is certified for use, it would be adapted for other helicopters in the IAF's inventory such as the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited developed DHRUV and Rotor as well as the upcoming light combat helicopter. There appears to be some breakthrough in the standoff between India and China of Ladakh before the crucial high-level military talks on Saturday, with reports suggesting that both armies have retreated from one of the flashpoints in the Galwan Valley. According to TV reports, in one of the flashpoints in Galwan Valley the Chinese army has retreated by 2 kilometers and Indian army by 1 kilometer. At Galwan Valley there are 3 flashpoints between Indian and Chinese armies. The high-level military talks between Indian and Chinese officers expected on Saturday will mainly discuss standoff between the 2 armies at Pungon Tso Lake. According to sources, the standoff at the Galwan Valley may not be on the agenda as India believes that in this area Chinese have come at a place which was never disputed. However, there was no official confirmation on the agenda of the meeting. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has said on Tuesday that a meeting of high-level army officials from both sides is scheduled on 6 June to try to resolve the issue. The Leh-based 14 Corps Commander Lt Gen Harinder Singh is scheduled to hold talks with his Chinese counterpart to resolve the matter. The meeting will take place at Chusomoldo. In the northern bank of Pungon Lake, India claims that its area is from Finger Area 1 to Finger 8 and Chinese claim their area to be from Finger 8 till Finger 2. The standoff between the 2 sides usually happens when patrol parties come face to face between Finger Area 4 and 8 which is claimed by both sides. This time, sources said that Chinese have brought a large number of troops to lay its claim in the area and prevent patrolling by Indian troops. Fist fight and stone pelting had occurred between Indian and Chinese soldiers on Pungon Tso Lake on the intervening night of May 5 and May 6. There had been more than 10 rounds of talks held already between the 2 sides at different level from commanding officers, brigade to major general level to try to resolve the issue. There had been even talks between the 2 sides at the Galwan area at one of the patrolling points, pages 14. Meanwhile, amid the ongoing standoff with India, the Chinese military in Tibet has held nighttime high-altitude infiltration exercises behind enemy lines, the Chinese state-owned media reported. It is suspected that some troops from this exercise were diverted by the People's Liberation Army towards the line of actual control at Ladakh. A report in Beijing's Global Times said the PLA Tibet Military Command had recently sent troops to a high-altitude region at an elevation of 4,700 meters at night for infiltration exercises behind enemy lines and tested their combat capability under a harsh environment.